One shot, now the future is yours. Go.
Well, the COVID lockdown has seen things go south in South, but the ball keeps rolling around the country and the show must go on, literally. Hello and welcome to the NBL1 show. I'm Megan Hustwaite and I don't think I've been happier to see Pete Hooley during this Victorian lockdown. Hello, Pete.
Oh, it's good to be here, Megan. Yeah, it's disappointing, but hopefully we can get out of it soon. And as you said, plenty of basketball still going on, some big games, big numbers put up, a lot of good highlights, and hopefully the South can join sooner rather than later.
Yeah, let's do a bit of a temperature check on how things are going at the moment for NBL1 South. So it is Tuesday. We are in day 4 of a lockdown here in Victoria. So we didn't have any Victorian NBL1 South action last weekend. Basketball Victoria and NBL1 South have agreed today to postpone all scheduled round 8 NBL1 games this weekend, but the Tasmanian derby between the Launceston Tornadoes and the Northwest Thunder and the Hobart Chargers has been brought forward and will be played this Saturday night. So the women's game will tip off at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, followed by the men's game at 8 p.m. at OBC Stadium in Ulverstone. No other NBL1 South games this weekend, and both organisations will just continue to follow the advice of the relevant health authorities. Community health and safety obviously very paramount. The only thing that matters at this time. So we'll follow those guidelines and hopefully we'll be back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, well said. And for everybody out there in Victoria, hopefully everyone's hanging in there and checking on your mates, especially your mental health, do some activity, physical activity. Hopefully this is over sooner rather than later. We can get back out there playing some games, and there's going to be some catch-up double headers, which is not good. I don't enjoy that being old, but we'll look forward to getting back on the court.
Well, maybe for you as an older player, it's not
I'm not
good,
the youngest.
For us as spectators, that's going to be a bit of a treat. Absolutely. If that's what we have to look forward to. So yes, I echo your sentiments, Pete. Vix, we're all thinking of you. We're in the same boat, but we are very happy to be here today at the desk, and we've got plenty of NBL1 action to get through. 2 big guests coming up today as well. Steph Reid from Townsville and an old mate and teammate of yours, Tom Daly, who's doing great things over with the Pioneers.
Yeah, looking forward to chatting to both of them, both having some really good seasons to start, and break down what they're up to.
Definitely. All right, let's go west to start with. And Lakeside have ended the Senators' unbeaten run in the men's competition. It was a tough road trip and the Lightning caused the upset 90-61.
Oh, it's tough because we just spoke to a Senator last week and then they end up losing their streak. Bit of a commentator's curse
Sorry.
without commentating. But Jay Bowie was the star, 26 points and 7 rebounds.
Well, the Senators' women's team got the job done over the Lightning, 102-51. That is a fair win, isn't it? Stacey Barr continuing her fine season with 23 points and 5 boards.
Yeah, good for them. And as we said, now that we're having a bit of a COVID dilemma, West is back up and running, which is good. And hopefully after that, it doesn't have to keep moving around. Let's just stop there. We'll take the last hit and we can get back to everybody else.
No, because we've just had North start. We were kind of all rolling. So we've let the team down a little bit. We will be back. Let's take a look at Central, and Forestville got pushed to the limit by West Adelaide. The women escaped with a 1-point win, while the men went into OT and won 93-90. That's a dramatic weekend.
Oh, well, it is. And 2 big Eagle stars had near identical numbers. Sam Simmons, who we caught up with earlier, had 31 and 10, and then Greg Mays, 31 and 11, and it's some big double-doubles to get them over the line.
Some nice symmetry too, isn't it?
That's what you want, playing in front of your home crowd, and that's a big, big outcome.
Speaking of big outcomes and big dunks, there was a big one.
Oh, there was.
The night.
Brian Michaels. That is a big dunk, and had 18 and 9 to finish with. And something about the Forestville floorboards at Wayville, it's a nice little trampoline for everybody getting some big dunks.
So both teams are sitting third on the table behind Sturt and Southern, but they both play Southern Tigers on Saturday night, so bring on that action.
That's going to be a huge game. Looking forward to seeing the result of that one.
Let's go north where the sun is shining and life is good. Don't sleep on Mackay. We pumped up Logan last week, and fair enough, but Mackay have proven on the weekend that they are well up to the task of pushing the Thunder for the NBL1 North title. And there's a big star leading the way on the women's side.
Well, we spoke about Kayla George, and I think we said it last week that she's going to get a triple-double sooner rather than later, and she did. Had 15, 16 and 12, and she's just unstoppable when she gets going. She's in one of those forms.
It's great to see, and of course named in the Opals Olympic team last week, so congratulations to Kayla George, off to her second Olympics in a couple of weeks. And then in the men, a big partnership happening there.
Well, Manny Mallow, it's good to see him back in the league. He had a big game at 23 and 11, and Jaron Jameson at 24 and 8 against Rockhampton. Some good performances from there. It's good to see Manny back and playing well.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're in a nice spot now. They have got the week off, and then they come back and play the Rollers. So is it good to sometimes have that break to sort of rest the legs, or do you want that momentum when you've got winning ways?
Yeah, I mean, it can go either way, can't it? Whether you see the momentum continues to go, or the little halt, or if they've got a couple of little niggles here and there, it might help them be able to get back. But it's early in the season, so I'm sure they just want to keep playing, and they might do some sort of intra-squad scrimmage or something to almost act like there's some sort of game, because they're playing some good basketball.
Let's head down to Tassie, where it's no Keely Froling, no Kelsey Griffin, no worries for the Launceston Tornadoes. Their depth was on show at the weekend, an 82-79 victory over Mount Gambier.
Well, Mariah Payne 30 and 7 and Taylor Evans 16 and 9 all got it done. And you're right, without their two superstars, still find a way to win. That'll have some really good confidence going around the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess condolences to Keely Froling and the 3-on-3 Aussie girls who fell out of the Olympic qualifying tournament with a finals loss to Spain at the weekend. They will obviously regain Keely now. So as much as that's sort of a terrible outcome from an Australian point of view for Launceston, they're going to have her available, which can only help their championship run.
And for us, who like to enjoy Keely Froling, and she's put up some big numbers, so I want to see her get back to that.
Now, other things we're looking forward to is next time they play Frankston, because it was a 90-84 result last time. My goodness, that is going to be a mouth-watering proposition when they come up against each other.
Looking forward to all of that. So much is to play out with how the schedule will change now with what's happening in Victoria, but looking forward to that matchup.
Me too. Now, things are hot in Townsville, and our guest today is in some hot form herself. Welcome to the NBL1 show, Steph Reid.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great to see you. Now, I need to know if you feel attacked that Keely Froling broke your NBL1 points record a few weeks ago. How did you take that news, first of all?
Yeah, it was a hard day. No, I mean, at least it was Keely. I mean, she's been having a phenomenal season. So, credit to her. Like, I know it was hard and I did it. So, imagine. But yeah, no. I was a bit sad, but that's all right. I guess we have a lot of opportunities, so try and claim it back.
Well, you had 36 and 10 over the weekend, averaging 25 points to start the season. So how are you finding it so far?
I'm loving it, to be honest. I was saying to Shannon this morning, like, our team is just a point guard's dream. Like, we have shooters all around me. So it's exciting, and, like, I mean, I'm loving it up north. It's never cold up here, so I'm enjoying that aspect. But I mean, from a team perspective, it's just, I'm really enjoying it and feel like I'm getting better every day. So it's fun. I love it.
Well, that's certainly coming through with how you're playing. Of course, played for Townsville in the WNBL season with Shannon Seabom, as you mentioned, the coach, and it's the same in the NBL1 team. And feel the same teammates as well, which is good. Yeah,
it's good. I'm loving it. I mean, Mia's finding like that confidence now after, she had a whole 2 years off and then straight into WNBL, and, now she's just getting better every day, and she's so awesome to work with. And then, Michaela's back as well, so that's really exciting. She brings a lot of experience. So it's good. We have a really good group. I mean, again, like we did with Fire, but enjoying it a lot. Like, it's a good group of girls.
Well, there's a lot of similarities. You talk about Shannon being the coach and some similar girls on the roster, but what is your role different? Because obviously you're going to have a lot more opportunity than you did in the WNBL hub. How are you adjusting in that little time period where you come from the hub where you were the sixth man coming off the bench and now you're the genuine superstar?
I wouldn't say that, but thanks. I'm enjoying it. I think, Shannon's he's been really, what's the word? He's given me a lot of confidence. Like, he's had my back, and, he's given me the freedom to work within his system. And, it's a system I'm somewhat pretty familiar with. So it's good. I've got that comfortability coming in. But, the players that he's put around me, it makes my job really easy. I mean, not many people can help off anyone on our team. So it opens up the floor a bit. And if they do help, it's an assist every time. So, I'm loving it. It's good.
Well, I know Shannon from way back in the day, as they say, country boys. So he's burst onto the scene as a really phenomenal coach. for what he's been doing. What is it? You just mentioned a couple of things. Why do you love playing for him so much? And you get the ability of for WNBL and now NBL1. What is it about him that makes him such a good coach?
To be honest, he's just so invested in his players. And the thing about Shannon is he doesn't sugarcoat anything. So what you see is what you get. And, he's always watching film. He watches more film than any coach I've seen. And he's just always trying to get better as a coach. And if you have someone like that, then he's obviously going to invest himself in his players and making sure that the people around him are better too. So every day you're in the gym, he's teaching you something new, and I'm loving every aspect of that. I mean, I feel like I grow every day, practice or indies. So I'm just loving that. He knows so much about the game, but he's so willing to share it. So he's just a really good coach. I love it.
That he is. Steph, increased opportunity for you in NBL1, but there's going to be increased opportunity in the WNBL season with Sheree Khalia out of that Townsville side off to Sydney. So what kind of boxes are you looking to tick in terms of your game in this NBL1 campaign?
I think just being able to make sure the team's organised, show that I can score from different levels rather than just layups and threes, like integrate a bit of mid-range, but more so being able to create for everyone around me. We have Lauren Nicholson returning, Nadine Payne, we have really good scorers. So making sure that Shannon has the confidence that I can go on the court and distribute the ball as well as score. So, I love defense, and most people know that about me. I love that, but just making sure I can contribute on the offensive end as well and make everyone around me better, because that's my job as a point guard.
Well, you're doing that very well, and we all know what you can do on the floor, but what does a day-to-day life look like for Steph Reid away from basketball? You mentioned the weather, so what do you like to do in your downtime?
Away from basketball? My life is never away from basketball. I coach actually a lot. I do indies. I'm helping with the 14-1s up here for Townsville, so I'm loving every second of that. But I'm a teacher's aide, doing the youth engagement work with Townsville, community engagement. I mean, it's all basketball related, I guess. But that just kind of getting out and about. I like that now I can do that. The hub season was so compact. You didn't really get to get out in the community. So it's nice to be able to have the time to do that now. So getting out and about, meeting new people, it's kind of fun.
So those community connections are something that have been really strong for you at Frankston, your junior association and club, and that's where you played in the inaugural season of NBL1. So you saw the buzz here when it all started in Victoria, but what's the buzz been like with NBL1 coming to Queensland?
Oh, they're loving it up here. Townsville, I mean, they've just carried over the Fire fans as well. We got so many fans to our first home game. Usually we were told that the women don't necessarily get as big a crowd, which is somewhat typical with basketball, but we almost filled the stands on our first game. And I think that, just bringing the NBL1 up, it's more media, it's a better coverage, great competition, more players want to stay up here. So it's been awesome. I mean, just the buzz around it, everywhere we've gone. I haven't played in front of an empty gym yet. So people are clearly getting around it and they're loving it. So it's good that we've finally got to have it up in Queensland, and, now it's more of a national competition.
Well, there's no reason not to love it with what you're performing on the court. Now, we've set a couple of challenges to guests in the past week with the NBL1 show. She can get 50 points again this year, so we'll throw that challenge out there. The only reason we say it is we've challenged a couple of guests who have got close to our challenges.
Yeah.
So
Annalie
Maley got 29 rebounds twice. Her challenge was 30.
And we think she was robbed on that. But...
So we know that you're capable of it. We look forward to following how you're going to do this year.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll give it my best, but we'll see how it goes.
Steph Reid watch. We like it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, Steph.
Thank you for having me.
Well, a big weekend for Mount Gambier, a loss and then a very big win, and someone who played a big role in that big win is Tom Daly. Welcome to the NBL1 show.
Thanks for having me.
That must have felt good, that one at the weekend.
Yeah, it was a tale of one end of the spectrum to the other. Friday night was probably our worst game for the season. In fact, it was definitely our worst performance for the season. And then Saturday night against the ladder leaders, the boys were fantastic, and that was our best win for the season. So it was really one end of the spectrum to the other. But, the boys did a great job at bouncing back on Saturday night against a tough side.
Well, that's normally the hardest part about the Tassie road trip is you've got the 2 games back-to-back, and if you do struggle in the first one, to get up for the second one. So what was said after that first game of the trip to make sure you were ready to go against the ladder leaders?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's always it's notoriously probably the hardest road trip, or at least it has been for us. We felt like mentally and physically we'd had a difficult day with 3 plane flights, but we just didn't get ourselves going against Hobart. We gave them confidence early, and then it snowballed from there. So it was, we don't make any excuses when we go on the road. So we were pretty hard on ourselves and identified that we didn't have enough energy or enough defensive integrity or communication in particular. So we were pretty tough on ourselves and just made a point of it to come out really fired up and to focus on the little things, particularly defensively against the Thunder. And normally our offense flows from that. So that was sort of where it begins for us on the defensive end with our communication, our toughness.
Well, talk a bit about the Pioneers back in the NBL1 South now, and had that little stint playing in the Adelaide League. And you being an Adelaide boy, you got to go back to some old venues, the Sturt Sabres, where you grew up playing. What was that like initially? And now you're back in the NBL1 South. So how's that all been?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey over the last couple of years. It was weird, to be honest, going back to SA, playing for the Pioneers, playing against Sturt was really strange. But we were really thankful and appreciated the opportunity to keep playing. We were sitting around for a while there. We thought that unless I moved out of Mount Gambier, unless some of us moved from Mount Gambier, that we wouldn't be able to play at all. So we appreciated the opportunity to play in SA. It was strange. We obviously had a good season, then it came to a really bad ending against Forestville, but it was a good learning experience. It was good for the club to keep the ball rolling. It was amazing to have the women's team introduced and for some of our young guys to keep their development and their basketball going. So it was an interesting experience, and then to have the year off was obviously frustrating for everyone. And now to be back in a quality competition, each game is a battle. There's a terrific level of talent and coaching, and what you guys are doing, the media, everything about the league we love. We're really appreciative to be back in it. Obviously a bit of a road bump at the moment, which is disappointing, but I love what the NBL1 is and what it's doing, and as a club and as an individual, we're really happy to be a part of it.
Well, if that's not an advertisement for NBL1, I don't know what is. Love to hear that. Tell us a bit about the mix of your team. You've got some bigs in there that have been putting up some big numbers, but take us through sort of the mix of the lineup.
Yeah, we've got a good mix. We've got Dewam is a bit of a diamond in the rough for us. He came to try out, and we didn't expect too much from him, to be honest, and he's turned out to be a really crucial part of our front court. He's extremely talented, and he's still learning the game, still pretty raw, but his improvement over the past 2 months has been fantastic. Titus, we knew coming in, was just a professional, played across Australia and across the world, and he's been fantastic since he came in. And then Kiwi in the sort of backup role now that Titus has come in has been good as a sort of stretch 4, even though he's somewhat of a 3 as well. So our front court has been strong between those 3. Nick Marshall's really talented. Again, he's pretty raw. He's only been playing the game for 3 or 4 years, I think. So he's missing some of the underpinning basketball that most of us get when we come through the city systems. But his work ethic and hunger to learn mixed with his talent, we're really excited about where he's going to go, and hopefully he's a long-term pioneer. And then we've got, Kane DeWitt, myself, Easy, Kyle, our South Australian guard contingent. Unfortunately, Nick DeSantis did his knee in the pre-season. He was set for a really big season as well. So, the balance between, we're a little, if anything, we're a little guard heavy. Nick not being there was obviously unfortunate for him and not good for the team, but that balanced it a little bit. And we play small. That's sort of our trump card. We did that a bit on the weekend against Tassie. We can go small and really spread teams out and use our speed and our ability to shoot and break the lines and penetrate. So, yeah, we've got a good balance. Then there's also a couple of young guys coming through as well who are, a year or two away from playing major roles, but they're starting to nip at the heels of the main 8. So we like where we're at. We're a young, raw, developing team, but still we're happy that we're competitive at the moment, and we're hoping if we keep moving forward each week that by the end of the season we can put ourselves in a good enough position to be in the finals and then give it a crack.
Now, on a more personal level, we saw a pretty cute Instagram upload from you with your 2 beautiful children. And now, what's it like playing, as we're going to have a look at it there, Gracie and Charlie, what's it like playing, going out there with them in the stands, and they've got the signs there, and it's a different, I guess, feel for you than it was a few years ago when you're running around playing?
Yeah, no, it was a very cute photo there. I'm pretty locked in, as you know, Pete, when I play. The heckling and the crowd and the noise, I've generally been able to zone that out. But I know Gracie and Charlie are in the front row at the Ice House at Pioneers games, and they're probably the only 3 that I can't resist sort of being distracted by. So, we're playing Ballarat, and it's, second overtime, and it's a 1-point game, and I'm over near that side, and I'll just go have a little peek. Oh, what's Gracie doing, and give her a wave, and it's pretty cool to have them there, and obviously they come home and they don't care whether you win, lose, draw. They're supportive, and they're always happy to see you, and they're great little girls. So it's pretty special to be able to have them out there, and the club supports my family really well. So it's different, as you said, than what it was 5 or 6 years ago, but I love the family element now of basketball.
Oh, we love seeing that. Of course, you mentioned your beautiful wife, Emma. We should have said that from the start. But talk a bit about you, as in you've been in the league now. You're a veteran of the league, especially with Mount Gambier. What is it like each and every game, young and upcoming guys who want to have these dreams of getting to the NBL? You running around with the Sixers for a little bit a few years ago, and knowing that you now get to help guys on your team and get to go up against these emerging talent, because you're big invested, you watch a lot about NBL as well.
Yeah, absolutely, I do, and I enjoy the being in the sort of leadership developmental role. Richo and I really enjoy pushing these young guys along. We do a lot of coaching work within the Mount Gambier community, and then obviously the young guys that come into the Pioneers squad, we want them to do well for us, but we also want to be able to give them a pathway to the NBL, if that's a reasonable goal. And I touched on Nick Marshall before, and some of the other guys who have great talent. We want to be able to teach and nurture and push them towards, having a crack. It's very difficult to get there, but having a crack at the next level if that's reasonable. So that's a massive part of our program. Yes, we are cutthroat and we want to win every time we step on the floor, but we're a development program as well. And I enjoy coaching. I enjoy helping lead the young guys along as well, and trying to pass on what I've learnt in Adelaide and from Mount Gambier to these guys that have aspirations of going there.
Well, no one better could be leading the way. Tom, great to catch up with you today. We're looking forward to the rest of your campaign, and of course those #1 fans in the front row there at the stadium. Thanks for joining us on the NBL1 show.
No worries. Thanks, Megan. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, guys.
Hopefully see you soon, mate. Hopefully.
Sounds good. Now, can I say all the best to everyone in Victoria? We're lucky where we are. All the best to everyone. It's a tough time, and fingers crossed that it's not too long.
Well said. Thanks, brother.
So nice. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
See you, mate.
Thank you.
Well, it is Team of the Week time here on the NBL1 show. Let's start with the women, Pete, and kicking us off is Sheree Khalia from Mount Gambier, and she had a big weekend.
Triple-double versus Hobart, 21, 10 and 10, and then followed it up with 32, 4 and 6 versus Launceston. Now, you split the road double, it's okay, because remember, you've got to win one. Oh, sorry, they did lose both, but a triple double will get you in that.
Yeah,
so
we have our own sort of criteria.
Yeah, we're going to have little anomalies like that. We're big fans of triple doubles,
Yes.
and that's what we want to see. And speaking of triple doubles, Kayla George, the 15, 16 and 12 versus Rockhampton, she was always going to get in there.
She sure was, having a big impact up north. Speaking of big impacts, Teague Morrell is in some form for the Southern Tigers. Against Woodville at the weekend, she had 37 points and 22 boards.
That's a massive double. Big game that helped them in their game. And then speaking of another big performance, Christina Bogue, 25 and 14 versus Coburn. And we're seeing her pop up a bit more regularly now.
Yeah, she's warming up, isn't she? We love a Bogue sister here on the NBL1 show. We also love Steph Reid, our guest today from Townsville, as we mentioned earlier, 30 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds against Cairns. She's going off.
Oh, that challenge, I think she'll get that. Once she knows, as she said, she was a little bit flat, as you would be if to lose a 50-point scoring record. She'll get close. All
right, let's hit the men's team of the week now. Getting us started from Hobart is Jonathan Mines.
Well, 24, 6 and 3 versus Mount Gambier. Tom Daly spoke about that. Disappointing from the Pioneers' point of view, but the Chargers got a big win. And then Sunshine Coast, Jamal Roberto, we spoke about him, what he did for the Bullets. I mean, he came in as an injury replacement, has a bit of that form carrying over, 29, 6 and 5 versus Red City. That's a big performance, and I'm expecting him to continue this year. He's making a push for some sort of NBL selection. Speaking
of big performances, Greg Mayers, he's been in some consistent form, hasn't he, for Forestville, 31 points and 11 rebounds at the weekend against West Adelaide and also in NBL1 Central.
Keanu Rasmussen, we spoke about him a little bit from Sturt, had 31 and 7, shot 90% from the field versus South Adelaide. Now, this is... You can shoot like that and you're going to find yourself in Team of the Week.
Absolutely. And then from Joondalup, Jonathan Wade, 34 points, 10 rebounds against East Perth, rounding out this week's Team of the Week.
It's a pretty strong Team of the Week and looking forward to seeing who else can put up some big stat lines as we continue these games all around the country.
Absolutely. Well, we are looking forward to all of the action ahead this round in NBL1, sending all of our strength and thoughts and care to all of our Victorians. Hopefully NBL1 South will be back and kicking soon, but we will be back next Tuesday with all of the action. See you then.
Yeah, I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure.